Shit, I had to go double check it and triple check it. I had no idea that that was even on the table. So I was kind of completely dumbfounded. And you know, Trevor and I talked about it because I think he was too. I don't think anybody in Norman or even the Big 12 thought that Lincoln Riley was in a position wanting to leave. We were talking about a pre-show, but you know, everything that we heard, or at least you know, Trevor, you know, being kind of still in that program, said that you know Lincoln was in every conversation, you know, pillar in every conversation into the SEC transition. You know,
Wow.
excited about it, hyped about it. You know, gave his 2 cents, that whole thing. So I don't know. I mean, I know that we hear a lot of things out there that that was a big reason as to why. There's also, you know, things internal that might, you know, say otherwise. So
So just
that
to
that one
that
was weird
point,
to me.
just to that point, what Bryce is saying, for those of you who are rolling with us, thanks for rolling with us. Clint Hack, Lincoln Riley has come out in interviews in the last couple of days and said he was not on board with that. Am I right about that, Bryce?
I've
Publicly.
seen that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've seen
And
that.
you're
So I
saying
don't know.
internally he had to be a part of all of it because it's going to directly affect him and his program. So he,
I yeah, I don't necessarily buy the fact that he wasn't on board with it because I mean, you know, that's your dude. You know, that's you know, president and then Lincoln Riley. That it was his ship. So I don't necessarily know how that could be something that he just doesn't agree to or want to be in. And otherwise, if that was the case, then I'm assuming that he would have voice like, look, then I'm going to go somewhere else.
right.
So we got to figure this out. So and again, right before we did our show, on Monday night came out that the USC AD had no idea that Lincoln Riley was even remotely interested in that job until Saturday night when his agent called him. So, and then it happened Sunday morning. I mean, the deal was done Sunday morning. It was 12 hours.
So he reached out to them.
Yeah. From this is from my Twitter news now. So you know,
But
look,
that's true because I also saw him in an interview say, hey, I woke up Sunday. I got a call from my agent. He didn't say if the agent got a call from SC or my agent reached out to SC. Sunday, I got a call after our loss. Sunday afternoon, my wife and I are doing our thing. SC said, hey, we're in. Sunday night was a done deal. Like
yeah.
that went fast. So he did basically say, I want out of here.
I think he had to have. I mean, that for a decision like that to be made that quickly. I mean, look, you're not going from Norman to Baton Rouge, where it's a similar kind of culture. You're going from Norman, Oklahoma to LA. Like that's just a whole different vibe, a whole different world. And that's what I told Trevor, you know, on our podcast. If it's us four and I'm taking, you know, you see my contract. I got 110 million. You're buying my house $500,000 over asking, and you're also buying my house in LA. Oh yeah, and by the way, I get unlimited hours on this jet. You know, you three, God love you, figure it out. You know,
Right.
that's what's crazy. And so Trevor has some really unique insight, that there were some coaches packing up boxes, not in a happy mood, you know, per se. So I think that
Oh, at Oklahoma.
yeah.
How
So
many of these guys did he take with him?
I think from what Trevor was saying, I think there was 5 that he, you know, knew, hey, you're coming with me right now. What he told the guys in the coaching staff, or I mean in the staff room, hey, if you're interested, text me. I'll see if I can find a spot for you.
Wow.
Man, it was a really interesting show. I thought, you know, just hearing everything that you know Trevor had heard, or that at least came to light on Monday, you know, 2 days after. So it was fast paced. So you know, maybe he had been plotting that the whole time, knowing that Oklahoma was going to go in there. Maybe he's plotting that the whole time, knowing, hell, I don't even have a quarterback, and we're 2 years away from getting our ass stomped. To your point, A&M's got the 8th best roster in the nation, and they're getting slapped around. Why would I want to do that? So I don't know. A lot of things can go into speculation. I just know it happened pretty damn quick. And you know what came out was the fact that AD had no idea. So it was a very interesting move, I thought. You know, being where I sat.
I'm gonna go Hack Clint. Hack, what was your thoughts when you heard the Brian Kelly piece? Brian Kelly, and this was not a slow moving thing either. This happened just as fast as Lincoln Riley. These guys up until an hour ago played out. They were still in the playoff run. What was your thoughts when you heard he was up and out of there and to where he was going?
Yeah, I heard Clint's piece, and I do agree with you, man. I think I'm a big loyalty guy, and it's a damn shame at how much of a business college sports has gotten, because you can argue and make the point and tell kids over and over again, like, hey, never pick a school because of a coach, because they can get up and leave at any point in time. Yeah, that whole spiel, right? But at the end of the day, when you're a football player, you're going to go you're going to gravitate towards certain human beings in terms of how they recruit you. And it's a part of the conversation, whether you want to admit it or not, or whether all the talking heads around you say that it shouldn't be or not. It's definitely a deciding factor in terms of where you're going to go and play 4 years of college ball at, or more or less. So for him to up and do that, and especially at a place like Notre Dame, and I understand that Notre Dame isn't necessarily what it was when Lou Holtz was there in terms of their ability to do some things. They have some academic restraints. South Bend, Indiana isn't necessarily the mecca for bringing kids in there. Like, it doesn't have a great, well, I mean, it might, but I mean, from everything that I've heard, there's not much to it. And for him to have had the success he had there, and just the history and the story of that program, and kind of his maturity, because I had heard a lot of stuff about his just own natural growth as a person throughout his trials and tribulations at Notre Dame. And apparently it was all very positive, because Brian Kelly did not have a lot of positive connotations, at least heading into that. And then even, this year he kind of ruffled some feathers with his comments after the Florida State game, and a few things, before that. They're all available. You can just Google the shit and read it, and it goes down the line. But
let me ask you this, Hack. When Lincoln left, Bryce broke that down, because there's not a ton on that in the public square about who traveled with them and who wanted to go. Brian Kelly, now at LSU, Hack, Clint, he wanted Marcus Freeman as his D coordinator. Now we get that, because, hey, I can either be your right-hand man or be my own man. But there were three coaches. There were three coaches at Notre Dame that have been with Brian Kelly for 15 years. They stayed behind. Every single coach stayed behind. So Brian Kelly is going to reconstruct an entirely new staff at LSU. So as an AD, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong, if I hire you, I assume that the bulk of your men are rolling in. So I'm going to get the tip of the spear, and I'm assuming that I'm getting the whole squad to come in and go with you. Only one guy got off the plane at LSU. Like, does that sit? Like, what does that speak?
Well, I think that speaks volumes. I think it speaks volumes. To answer your question, it speaks volumes about how I think as a staff they viewed it. And it's funny, because I feel like when you look at it, I mean, even look at Tommy Rees. Like, Tommy Rees played at Notre Dame. Yep. Like, Tommy Rees wasn't going to leave Notre Dame, dude. Like, that's a finish it, keep me there. I ain't leaving type of job until you have to literally physically pack my shit and kick me out. So, I don't really know what to say, man. I thought it was kind of bullshit, the timing, for sure. Professionally, I thought it was not the best display of professionalism in terms of handling it. If you're going to do it, but not like that, in my opinion. I just thought it was, in short, I thought it was kind of, I thought he went backwards with my point of going through that whole evolution of Brian Kelly and growing into something. I think he just took monumental steps backwards with his credibility as a person.
Clint, what was your thoughts on watching either move? Do you think either man, like, obviously they both helped themselves financially, but did either man help himself from a legacy standpoint, from a football standpoint? Is it a wash? Is it just business? Should we just get over it? Or should we really step back and be like, wow, in the middle of the night, you rolled out, nobody went with you. In the middle of the night, you rolled out because allegedly you didn't want to go into the, well, not allegedly, he said it. I don't want to go into the jungle, SEC. How do you look at these two men?
I think one of them's smart, and I think one of them's slimy as hell. I think Lincoln Riley. I don't think Lincoln Riley. I don't think this all popped Saturday and then he was hired Sunday. If that happened, then that's what's wrong with USC. They can't find a damn coach to stick around worth a damn because they're hiring him in a span of 24 hours. There's especially if he didn't want any part of the SEC, and all of a sudden USC popped out of nowhere. I don't know about all that crap. But I think Lincoln Riley took the smart path. I think, hey, go out west with a blue blood program where you've got the leg up in recruiting. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, that USC is one of, I mean, 5, maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6, give or take, programs in the country that they're the brand. You can drop it anywhere in the United States and everybody knows who the hell it is and is interested in what they're doing. So and it's an easy path to the college football playoffs. I think it's an absolute no-brainer.
LSU won 2 years ago. They won it all 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's fair. No, LSU's a great place. There's no doubt about it. I don't know that Lincoln had the opportunity to go to LSU. I heard some rumblings as well, but I don't believe any of that. I don't believe it all. I think he's smart. Your question, I think he's smart going to USC. You don't want to limp into the SEC. If you're Oklahoma, you ain't had any luck against the SEC in the college football playoffs. You've been skull drugged a couple of times, so he's better off going out west anyway. I think it was a smart move, just from a football coach perspective. Look, these guys all got bread. They all got deep pockets. I mean, they're going to keep coaching. They're going to keep making millions of dollars. So everybody missed me with, oh, well, it's a financial deal, and they did right by their family. Lincoln Riley was going to make double-digit $1 million. To coach football sooner rather than later. I mean, he wasn't going broke. He wasn't trying to pay his damn bills. I think when you look at
Brian Kelly, what'd you think?
I just think it's slimy as hell, man. I think it shouldn't surprise anybody that he got off the jet in Baton Rouge by his damn self. Any coach that would leave his players and his staff when they're on the doorstep of the college football playoffs, the one thing that we all work for, the only thing that we have bled, we've sweat, we've cried together to get to this point. And all you got to do is wait the nail in the coffin for me. And this is no debate. The nail in the coffin for me is when the college football playoff committees, the head of the committee came out after the last rankings and said that one of their principles, it's in black and white, it's in writing. One of their principles is that if a team doesn't have a key player or a coach that could impact their ability or inability to perform at a championship level going into the playoffs, that's going to be taken into consideration. If you're the head coach of a football team and you don't have the guts to wait 7 days, even if you're leaving, just wait till December the 6th before you announce it so they don't hold it against my guys. Right? I think you're shitty for leaving.
That's a great.
But you're a scumbag for leaving. Not waiting 7 days and at least
that's a great point. You could wait, knowing this move in the middle of the night hurts all the men in that building.
And here's the point too, Clint, is those kids only have so much opportunity for that. And as a coach, you got all the damn opportunity in the world to go and take a job. Like when you're the head coach at Notre Dame, your name can get thrown in, even if it's not this coaching cycle, right? Maybe if LSU is going to press it and say, well, if you don't say yes or no within this time frame, then it wasn't like he was starving at Notre Dame. You know what I mean? He had got to the show. He'd been there. He's doing it. So he could wait for another opportunity because it would come around eventually.
But heck, if you put yourself in Brian Kelly's shoes, right? If I'm that level of a coach,
right? You're the winningest coach at fucking Notre Dame.
Right. You're the hottest dude on the market, and I call LSU and go, "Hey, man, look, I'm coming to y'all, but y'all gonna have to appreciate this. I got 100 kids with they got 1 foot in the door of the college football playoffs, man. You got to give me 7 days.
7 days.
And here's the deal. If I'm Brian Kelly, I want LSU to go, no, man, you got to come right now. We're moving on. Okay, well, you just told me who the hell you are. I'm not coming to LSU.
Yep.
You've told me what you're about. And so instead of taking that path, you jumped ship
That's
on
a
all
great
these guys.
point. Because if the tables are reversed and he's at LSU, and it just came to that point, hey, I've been here 12 years and the winningest coach. I need another challenge. I'm going to hang here and tell my new employer, give me a couple days. I'm not going to do us like this, Mr. AD. I promise you that. That's a great point.
He set a precedent.
Hey, know here's the other thing is I keep pushing back with this. Oh well, man, that December 15th, man, that early signing period, man, LSU really needs boots on the ground. Hey, well, what about the hunter that he already recruited, that already committed to him, right? And I look, and this another thing, like miss me with all the coaches leave all the time and it's for the money and it's for their family. No, that ain't what this is a whole different set of circumstances here. You got the college football playoffs right there at your fingertips. All that other shit don't matter. I mean, it's the slimiest move I've ever seen in the coaching world. I know, Bobby Petrino was chasing some young blonde around, had an old motorcycle accident. I know Hugh Freeze, he had old hotline, got his ass. And then Mike Price back in the day, the shake joint, got his ass with the old Alabama credit card. I know we got some scumbags running around here, but that shit Brian Kelly just pulled, man, nah, no, sir. That ain't it right there. Let me have a kid in that locker room. I'd be on I-10 East right now heading towards Baton Rouge, hunting Brian Kelly's ass.
What's LSU's record next year, Clint?
Man, I don't know what their non-conference is. I'll give them 7 wins.
And then over the course of the 10 years, how many national championships does Brian Kelly win at LSU?
0.
Takes care of that. We hope you join us, Field of 12, tomorrow. Off of that sweet note, tomorrow morning, 11:30 Eastern time. Tomorrow morning, 11:30 Eastern time. We're gonna rock and roll right here with you. We'll probably be raising orange juice or coffee or something like that for the diehards. Get what you get. 11:30 Eastern time. We're gonna roll tomorrow. The official layout comes out. Field of 12's opinion. Not that we're like we have any government information. Bama 1, Georgia or Michigan 2 or 3, Cincinnati 4. So we're going to see Cinderella probably going up against the Roman army. And we're going to see 2 teams that pretty much look like each other in the other semifinal. 11:30 Eastern time, Field of 12, Christian Hackenberg, Clint Sterner, Bryce Petty, George Whitfield. See you tomorrow.